These are the 9 actors who stood up and woke Hollywood. Number 9. Ricky Gervais.
Presenter is beautiful, talented, and Jewish, apparently. Mel Gibson told me that. He's obsessed.
His presence in a room is like a storm because he is always ready to roast anyone in sight, and that's why the people love him the most. Known for his unapologetic approach to comedy, Gervais doesn't care about being politically correct, and that's exactly what makes him the bad boy of Hollywood's often fragile, easily offended world. His 2020 Golden Globe speech was the perfect example of his no-holds-barred humor. Instead of the usual thank you speeches, Gervais aimed at Hollywood's elite's hypocrisy. He mocked the rich and famous, calling out their moral high ground while flying in private jets to accept awards for playing characters with social justice agendas. Despite having little understanding of the issues, his bold remark that actors often lecture the public about politics hit hard and fast. Ricky has made a career out of calling out egos and exposing how out of touch celebrities can be. He reminds us that just because you're in the spotlight doesn't mean you're the voice of reason. In a time when everyone is worried about stepping on toes, Gervais cuts through the noise with his sharp, unfiltered commentary. If there were an award for exposing hypocrisy, Ricky would win every year. And let's be real, he'd roast the ceremony while he was at it, reminding Hollywood's woke elite that sometimes humor is the best way to stand up to the nonsense. Number 8. Chris Pratt. His rise to fame has been a welcome change in an industry that can sometimes feel full of drama, just for the sake of drama. Known for his lovable, silly charm, Pratt is the regular guy who somehow made it in Hollywood. He's the type of person who still holds the door open for others, cracks dad jokes, and isn't shy about having fun on Instagram, even if it means posting pictures of his farm animals or funny workout fail videos. But where celebrities are often expected to publicly support certain causes or make political statements, Pratt has chosen to stay out of the virtue-signaling race. And for this, he's been criticized by the woke crowd. When Pratt didn't speak out the way they wanted him to, the social media mob went after him. But did Pratt give in? Did he crack under the pressure? Nope. Instead, he kept being Chris Pratt, the same lovable goofball, church-going, family-loving, fitness-obsessed guy who just happened to star in Guardians of the Galaxy. Who needs that kind of stress? But instead of being criticized for avoiding drama, Pratt has been praised by fans who appreciate that he stays true to himself, even when Hollywood is trying to push him in all directions. Number 7. Kirstie Alley. Kirstie Alley has been a powerful presence for years, from her famous role in Cheers to her more recent bold opinions on Hollywood. When Alley spoke up about politics during the 2016 U.S. presidential election, Hollywood reacted strongly. She was one of the loudest celebrity supporters of Donald Trump, a stance that didn't sit well with the people in Hollywood. Alley wasn't about to apologize for what she believed. Instead of backing down, she just got more confident.
You know, it's funny because I've been talking about Trump now for several months, and the other night I put out a tweet that simply said that I voted for him the first time and this time because he's not a politician. So then I got all this flood, I think thousands and thousands going, do you know the definition of politician? Do you know what a politician is? Do you know what a And I do, and I know they know what I meant, and what I meant was that he's not a career politician.
True to her word, Alley never held back from speaking up. Kirstie Alley didn't just break the rules, she completely changed them, and for that, we admire her. Number 6. Tim Allen. Allen's comedy has always been a bit of a challenge to the mainstream. From his character on Home Improvement to his role in Last Man Standing, Allen's characters have always been boldly conservative, but the twist is that despite Hollywood's clear dislike for conservative views, Allen has managed to not only stay relevant, but also succeed. Actors are often expected to follow the liberal viewpoint, but Allen has been clear about his political beliefs and his challenges as a conservative in Hollywood. He's mentioned that being a conservative actor in a very liberal industry is like being a vegetarian at a Texas BBQ. Despite this, Allen's decision to stand firm has only made him more popular with his fans. After his sitcom Last Man Standing was canceled by ABC in 2017, it was brought back by Fox, showing that there was still an audience who liked his perspective on the world. And let's not forget that Alan's success with Toy Story made him one of the most loved figures in Hollywood. Whether you agree with his views or not, one thing's for sure, Tim Allen isn't going anywhere, and Hollywood would be smart to remember that. Number 5. Roseanne Barr. Roseanne Barr is the perfect example of Hollywood's craziness, often causing a stir, always bold, and completely true to herself. Her career has been a crazy journey, with big successes and big mistakes. But here's the deal. Roseanne Barr doesn't care about your anger. She's too busy laughing all the way to the bank. After her show was canceled in 2018 because of her controversial tweet, Barr could have stepped back, stayed quiet, and maybe even apologized publicly. But no, Barr stood her ground and made it a part of her stand-up act.
Yeah, I guess they thought they shut me up, but guess what? Anyways, anybody else been fired recently?
While other stars might have fallen apart under the pressure, Barr used the backlash to boost her career. She proved that it's possible to make a comeback even after the biggest cancellation in TV history, because when you're as legendary as Roseanne, no one can keep you down for long. Number 4. Gina Carano. Gina Carano, whose departure from The Mandalorian wasn't just a career setback, it turned into a major Hollywood drama. After being fired for social media posts that didn't match Disney's values, Carano had a choice: leave quietly or make a bold move. We all know what she chose. Instead of fading into the background, Carano decided to speak up. She teamed up with conservative media companies to start new projects, including the film My Son Hunter, and promised to challenge the Hollywood system that tried to silence her. Her message was simple: she'd rather stay true to herself and risk losing everything than pretend to be someone. In the end, that's exactly what she did. Stayed true to herself and became stronger, more independent, and gained a loyal following. Number 3. Rob Schneider. Rob Schneider, known as the master of satire. He's the kind of person who can make you laugh while also making you think about the strange things in the world. His comedy is about questioning the norm and poking fun at how silly political correctness has become. Schneider's refusal to follow woke culture has made him one of the strongest critics of cancel culture. And let's not forget that if he can't make fun of people, what's the point? While Hollywood struggles to stay politically correct, Schneider moves freely, making fun of everyone, especially those who take themselves too seriously. He even gets threatened by some powers, he told in the podcast.
But if you hurt them, if you cost them money, you will never work again. And these companies will sue not just you, they'll sue these other places to make sure that you never work again. And I said,
Damn.
but I said, but I'm right about this. And he said, somebody's got to stand up. He said, and he said this to me, you have a daughter. Is it fair that she has to do this fight too? And I was like, whoa. That took me out of my knees.
But after all this, instead of fading away, Schneider has kept building his career on his terms, sticking to his bold style. Number 2. James Woods. James Woods, an actor who doesn't hold back from speaking his mind, even if it upsets the politically correct crowd. Woods openly shares his conservative views, often posting his opinions on social media, which sparks strong debates. But instead of backing down from the criticism, Woods has stayed strong, confidently using his platform to criticize the left and point out what he sees as hypocrisy in Hollywood. His strong support for conservative causes and his rejection of the woke narrative have made him a target for those who would rather see Hollywood stay quiet on political issues. But Woods isn't scared to fight back, and he's stayed as important as ever, using social media as his tool of choice. He'd rather be a man of principle than a man of political correctness, making it clear that he's one of Hollywood's most determined rebels. On number 1, we have Matt Damon, one of Hollywood's most loved stars, who was once caught up in a controversy after comments he made about using the F-word in connection with LGBTQ+ issues. While trying to talk about his daughter's opinions on the word, he admitted to using it in his younger years and later said that he never meant to hurt anyone. The reaction was quick and harsh, and for a short time, it seemed like Damon might be canceled for good. Instead of staying quiet, Damon took responsibility and faced the problem directly. Damon didn't let the scandal control his career. While he may not have been the star who kept fighting cancel culture, Damon's ability to admit his mistakes and move on shows how celebrities can handle the pressure. Do you think anyone dares to speak freely like these actors? Let us know in the comments below.